One minute, you're a broke teenager living in your sister's house with nothing but a laptop and Wi-Fi. The next, you've got the biggest song in the world.
You know, after the success of like Old Town Road and whatnot, I had like this dark like period of like, oh God, like what do I do?
A cultural movement behind you and the entire music industry scrambling to understand how you did it. That's the story of Lil Nas X, a story so unbelievable it feels like it was written by the internet itself.
I keep saying I'm in my block there and don't give a I'm at home unbothered. Y'all mad, I'm unbothered, I don't care.
Nah, hey.
What
Don't
up?
be late to the party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at. Nah, go ahead, babe.
But behind the memes, the records, and the controversies lies a darker reality.
Bleep it out, but my haters. I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna go outside. I deserve to be out here, I deserve the right to exist. Connected with something higher, and I felt like I was just having fun, and I wanna get back to that and not just like, oh, I'm gonna teach my haters a lesson.
Because the same system he broke to rise to the top is the system that eventually broke him. This is the rise and fall of Lil Nas X.
These last few years were pretty difficult for me. They have been pretty difficult for me. And I'm just now like arriving to this place of feeling confidence. I want to fight. I want to live. I want to stop. I want to go. I want to run.
Before the Grammys, before the headlines, before the world even knew his name. Montero Hill was just another college dropout in Atlanta. With no plan B, he spent most of his days online, running a Nicki Stan account called Nas Mirage. At first glance, it was just harmless fandom, but in reality, this was his training ground. Here, he learned how to troll, how to manipulate attention, and how to weaponize memes. He didn't know it yet, but these skills would one day carry him further than anyone thought possible. In late 2018, with nothing to lose, Montero made a choice. He was going all in on music, no safety net, no job, just SoundCloud links and a dream. He bought beats off YouTube from random producers he'd never met. And then, on Halloween night, lightning struck. He stumbled on a beat from a Dutch kid named Young Kyo Trap Drums, a banjo loop, haunting but catchy. He paid $30 for it. Out of that purchase came the most viral song of the decade, Old Town Road. From the jump, Lil Nas X wasn't just making music, he was making a meme. He filled the song with quotable one-liners, Wrangler on my booty, cowboy hat from Gucci. He admitted later, I knew this was going to be the highlight of the memes. I was writing with the internet in mind. He didn't just understand, so he did something smarter, posting cowboy clips, horses, memes, and letting the app do its magic. Suddenly, Old Town Road was everywhere, in classrooms, in locker rooms, in car stereos blasting through suburbia. Teens made it their anthem. And within weeks, it started climbing the Billboard charts. But then came the twist that changed everything. Billboard removed the track from the country chart, saying it didn't embrace enough elements of today's country music. To many, it smelled like gatekeeping, or worse, discrimination. Why were white artists allowed to bend genres, but not a young black kid from Atlanta? Overnight, Lil Nas X became more than a viral star. He was a symbol. Fans demanded justice. And then, Billy Ray Cyrus, a country legend, jumped on the remix. With one verse, Billy Ray validated Nas, silenced critics, and turned the controversy into rocket fuel. From there, Old Town Road didn't just go #1, it became unstoppable. It broke Drake's streaming record. It sat at the top of the Hot 104, an unheard of 19 weeks, the longest reign in Billboard history. Think about that. Bigger than Despacito, bigger than anything Beyoncé, Rihanna, or Justin Bieber ever did. And it wasn't just one version. Remixes with Billy Ray, Diplo, BTS's RM. Even Young Thug kept it alive, like an evolving meme. Lil Nas X, a broke kid with a $30 beat, had just pulled off the impossible. But here's the question. What happens when your first song is the biggest song of all time? For most artists, that kind of success is a curse. People start whispering one hit. Wonder? They start betting against you. And Lil Nas X knew it. He said later, the truth is, Old Town Road is super huge. So people are like, he'll never top it. But I'm not here to have just one sound. So he struck back. His EP7 gave the world Panini, a futuristic banger that went 5 times platinum. Then came Holiday, a Christmas anthem that proved he could make a seasonal hit. He was showing range, but it wasn't just the music keeping him alive. It was the persona. Lil Nas X wasn't afraid to troll his way through Twitter wars, clown himself in memes, and outsmart critics with every post. He wasn't playing the industry game, he was bending it. And then, in the middle of his meteoric rise, he made a personal revelation that shocked the world. With the release of C7 Ogier, he came out as gay. For the first time, one of the biggest new names in rap was openly queer. In a genre long plagued by homophobia, it was both courageous and dangerous. Some fans cheered. Others turned on him. Nas didn't care. He leaned into it, declaring he'd never hide who he was. It was a cultural turning point by 2020. Lil Nas X had the world watching. He was a one-man circus, a meme genius, a record breaker, a disruptor in every sense. The industry waited for his next move. Could he keep shocking us? Could he keep bending culture to his will? And then he did something no one expected. He didn't just drop a song, he dropped himself into hell. When your very first hit is the biggest song of all time, you've already set the bar so high that even success feels like failure. And Lil Nas X knew it. That's why, in 2021, he decided to do something that wasn't just a song. It was a cultural earthquake. The video opens with a surreal Eden. Nas plays every character, seducing, tempting, running, and then sliding down a pole straight into hell. And then comes the moment no one would forget. Lil Nas X, in thigh-high boots, grinding on the devil before snapping his neck. It wasn't just a music video, it was a provocation aimed directly at America's moral nerves. The outrage was instant. Pastors ranted from pulpits, politicians tweeted in disgust, parents declared him the downfall of their children's innocence. Fox News couldn't stop playing the clip. And while conservative America fumed, the numbers skyrocketed. Montero, shot straight to #1, went multi-platinum and solidified Lil Nas X as a master of culture hacking. He knew exactly which buttons to push, and he pushed them with a smile. But that wasn't all. To promote the track, he partnered with a company to release the now infamous Satan shoes, black Nike Air Maxes, allegedly containing a drop of human blood. Stamped with pentagrams and 666, Nike sued, preachers screamed, and the internet melted down. But once again, Lil Nas X walked away victorious. The controversy made him untouchable, or so it seemed. Because here's the thing about shock, it's a drug. And like any drug, the more you use it, the less it works. After Montero, Nas doubled down with another single, Industry Baby, featuring Jack Harlow. The prison-themed video, complete with pink jumpsuits, elaborate choreography, and a shower dance sequence, became another viral moment. The song went #1. The rollout was genius. He even staged a fake pregnancy, complete with belly photo shoots, to announce his album. When the baby was born, it was his debut LP, Montero. The internet ate it up, but behind the laughter and headlines, cracks were forming. Critics began asking, if every song needs a gimmick to go viral, what happens when the gimmick stops working? By 2022, Lil Nas X had a Grammy-winning debut album, several #1 singles, and millions of fans. But he also had a growing number of skeptics. Hip-hop insiders said he wasn't respected in rap circles. Some dismissed him as a troll rather than an artist. Even fans who loved him started wondering, was this just a cycle of outrage and memes? Could he actually build a long career on this? And then came 2023, the year everything changed. In January, Nas dropped a single called J. Christ. The imagery, Nas, dressed as Jesus, nailed to a cross, surrounded by religious symbolism. On paper, it was the same formula that had worked for Montero: provoke the faithful, stir outrage, fuel streams, but this time, something was different. The internet didn't explode. The outrage didn't trend. Instead, people shrugged. Fans called it lazy. Critics called it desperate. The song debuted at #69 on Billboard and quickly vanished. For the first time, Lil Nas X had released a flop. The backlash wasn't angry anymore, it was worse. It was boredom. The magic trick had been exposed, and then came the twist no one expected. News broke. Lil Nas X had been arrested for battery. Suddenly, The headlines weren't about music videos or Satan's shoes, they were about a real crime. For a star who built his brand on playful trolling, this was different. This wasn't a stunt. This was serious. The arrest shattered the carefully controlled image he had curated. Fans who once saw him as untouchable now wondered if his career was spiraling out of control. The critics had new ammo. He wasn't just running out of tricks. He was in trouble. At the same time, rumors swirled that Columbia Records, the very label that had once celebrated him as a genius, had scrapped his next album. Insiders claimed only 3 songs were saved. Suddenly, the golden child of TikTok was being treated like damaged goods. .NA seemed rattled. He posted snippets online, then deleted them. He admitted he was afraid to release music, terrified it would flop. He wrote, "I hate my relationship with fear of my songs not doing well. I wish I could just release without caring." The confidence, the trolling bravado, the smirk that once disarmed haters, it was fading. For the first time, Lil Nas X looked unsure of himself. The numbers told the story. His single Light again pulled only a few million streams, respectable for most artists. A disaster for someone who once racked up billions. Even behind-the-scenes clips from his Old Town Road era were getting more views than his new releases. The internet that once crowned him king was now ignoring him. Even his most dedicated fans were worried. On forums, theories spread. Maybe the label blackballed him. Maybe he lost his creative spark. Maybe the trolling had simply run its course. Whatever the reason, the energy was gone. And then another revelation. In a live stream, Lil Nas X revealed he was battling Bell's palsy, a condition that left part of his face temporarily paralyzed. He tried to joke through it, showing how his smile had become crooked, but the internet could see the pain behind it. Sympathy poured in, but sympathy doesn't rebuild a career. For someone who built his empire on being larger than life, the image of Lil Nas X struggling with his health was both heartbreaking and symbolic. The unstoppable meme machine looked human. And so, here we are. Lil Nas X, once the ultimate disruptor, the kid who broke Billboard's system with a $30 beat, now finds himself in limbo. The music isn't hitting. The stunts don't shock. The label has doubts. Even his own confidence seems shaken. At just 26 years old, he has 2 paths ahead. Reinvention like Lady Gaga, who once faced the same doubts and came back stronger. Or irrelevance, fading out as another internet star who burned too bright, too fast. The irony, his rise proved that the internet could make a superstar overnight. His fall is proving that the internet can take it all away just as quickly. And maybe that's the lesson of Lil Nas X, that in an age where attention is the currency, the moment you stop surprising people is the moment they stop paying. So is Lil Nas X finished, or is the world just waiting for him to shock us one more time? For now, all we can say is this: the boy who once slid into hell to prove a point is now facing his own.